Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are teaching this truth in sincerity. And a shout out to Yakims out there in the four corners of the earth proclaiming this truth. Bracha the Yahweh, Bracha the Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakadash, Bracha Tov. So far, this does not fall into YouTube's algorithms, right? But nonetheless, though, we've called this out on numerous occasions about weather modification and the things that Esau has. And so this truly is a weather modification event, just like Hurricane Sandy, and almost all hurricanes have been weather controlled. Yes, they have weapons to do that, and they guide these weapons also in the fires that are over on this site, such as the Caldor fire and Dixie fire, which was meant to burn out of control. And the firefighters are they're just there to help stage what needs to burn next in the plan to burn California, which is all Rothschild plan. Nonetheless, though, here's some truther video here from geoengineeringwatch.org.
The path of Hurricane Ida was not an act of nature. It was the result of covert and complex climate engineering operations. Hurricanes are being heavily seeded and thus saturated with climate engineering elements. Many of these elements are electrically conductive. Thus, exposure to powerful radio frequency microwave transmissions manipulates the seeded storms by repelling the storms and the air mass around them away from the microwave transmission sites. Land-based sites and sea-based
just like energy bombs are used during fires.
This effect is clearly visible on this microwave transmission level monitoring loop that geoengineeringwatch.org captured during Hurricane Ida's path. As Hurricane Ida reached landfall, the storm was first stalled by land-based microwave transmission facilities. That slowed Ida's inland advance. The storm was then continuously steered by the extensive network of microwave transmission sites. It is the ability of the climate engineers to steer storms like Hurricane Ida that allows them to so accurately plot their exact future paths, often a week in advance. The U.S. military first initiated hurricane manipulation operations 74 years ago, Project Cirrus, in 1947. Not opinion, not theory, not conjecture. It is historical fact. If the weather controllers did not want Hurricane Ida to ever even develop, it would not have. If the geoengineers did not want Ida to make landfall, it would not have. In other parts of the country, if the climate engineering cabal were not completely blocking the flow of moisture into the U.S. West, it would not be completely drying up and incinerating. All the way back in the 1960s, in Vietnam, the U.S. military used weather modification operations to flood whatever they wanted. Again, not theory, it's historical record. Are we to believe that after a half-century of rapid technological increases in weather modification, that the climate engineers could not augment precipitation anywhere they want, like along the U.S. West Coast, with the whole Pacific Ocean on the doorstep? The weather makers are actually aggressively blocking precipitation from the U.S. West. This is a satellite image proven fact. Climate intervention operations are nothing short of weather warfare. They are the single most environmentally destructive form of human activity. The weather makers leave nothing alone. Nothing. All is now tainted. Covert climate modification programs are not only decimating the planet's last remaining life support systems with epic drought and deluge scenarios, the highly toxic fallout from these operations are contaminating every breath we take. The fight to expose and halt climate engineering is a fight for life, nothing less. All are needed in the desperate battle to expose and halt the climate engineering insanity. Share credible data from a credible source. Make your voice heard. Make every day count. Stay safe, stay strong.
Which is why we have the 100% truth at Great Millstone. We understand everything.
We went from really being upset, I guess, kind of angry, but I just want to know she's okay. Didn't know the conditions. Had we known, I would have came and get her for sure.
Continuing to monitor the recovery aftermath of Hurricane Ida. Heartbreak there in Tangipahoa Parish after 4 nursing home residents died while packed into a mass shelter. Now we're continuing to follow the latest developments of this major story we broke just yesterday.
The coroner confirms that 3 of the deaths have been classified as storm-related, adding that an active investigation could reveal that the tragedy could have been avoided. State Police released a statement today that said, quote, LSP investigators are in Independence coordinating with representatives from the Louisiana Department of Health and State Attorney General's office. And residents were eventually moved to different facilities, some to the LSU field house.
Home Affairs has that story from Baton Rouge of a family who is not allowed to see their loved one.
Security around the LSU Fieldhouse is tight. Contracted workers are the only ones seen coming and going and are not allowed to talk about the conditions inside. One patient's daughter showed up to get her 72-year-old mother out. Stella Franklin of Galliano says her mother described the situation like this.
She said she just wants a shower, she wants her medicine, she wants to be able to lay in her bed, but she said she says she's in hell.
She said her mom went from the Oxnard St. Anne Hospital in Raceland to the warehouse in Independence. She knew nothing about that move.
I should be able to come in to find you in a little bit.
So the hour of his judgment is coming.
Then her mom called to say she was moved here to Baton Rouge.
She's been crying. She says she wants to be home. She's uncomfortable. She's worried about her home, whether someone's going to go into it or not with nobody being there. So it's a lot of things going on.
Stella says she has power of attorney to get her mom, but inside where she took this cell phone video, they would not even let her see her mother. Sources tell us there are around 87 patients at LSU. There are cots next to patients or caretakers, but so far, none has shown up. Sources also tell us about 3/4 of the patients have medical conditions like dementia and diabetes and can't use the bathroom on their own. Some complained about the lack of care at the Independence warehouse. The good news is their COVID tests were negative. Our sources also say there are workers trying to get in touch with family to let them know who is at the shelter.
I just have a lot of anxiety, but I'm trying to keep that at bay.
A very emotional time for the seniors and those trying to care for their needs. From Baton Rouge, Meg Farris, Eyewitness News.
Right, and Attorney General Jeff Landry said today that his office found out about the incident at the same time that we were breaking the story on air. Landry, like other officials, is promising a major investigation.
First thing I want to do is give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kadash, Devon to the Apostle, elders of Great Millstone. And citation, brothers pushing this word with truth, sincerity, and charity. Yeah, so real quick, this pretty much going into a dream I just had. I just recently had a dream today, actually. Pretty much of it was long lines, all right. It was a bunch of long lines, all right. But in these long lines, they was pretty much was enforced by the military, all right. And it was lines to get the waters. And what happened was whoever didn't get the water, all right, they was basically cutting you off from society. All right, you was able to get food, but you wasn't able to sit down and eat nowhere. All right, you wasn't able to get work or employment. All right, it wasn't you was able to move around, but it wasn't like you was completely alienated yet. But like we say before, like the waters is just preconditioning, all right, for the MOTB. All right. So in the dream, I seen long lines. I think I was in Vegas, you know, a place I never been, but I knew that's where I was at. I was in Vegas, and because I was at casinos and different things like that. It was a bunch of lights, and if you didn't have the waters, you couldn't get into the casino. All right, they would actually chase you out of the casino. All right, if you didn't have the waters, you couldn't get food as far as sit down at a restaurant and eat food and things like that. You couldn't get a job. You couldn't things like that. So, but in these lines, I seen family members and I also seen brothers. Right, so I didn't see any particular brother I knew, but they knew me. They knew who I was, but when I talked to them, they was like, well, you know, I got to work. I got to feed my family. You know, I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. I got to do that. So, and I pretty much cussed them out and was like, look, man, you got to trust in the Lord, man. The Lord said we're gonna eat, man. We're gonna eat. You look at me, I'm straight. And pretty much, I was just like walking past the lines. And it was brothers in these lines, all right, to get the actual waters. Hey, we coming into some times to where, all right, we're gonna have to cast our cares upon the Lord, man. And look, we can't worry about these things, all right, because we already understand prophecy. Hey, like the scriptures say, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times. So we understand the things that's what's about to happen. We understand that they're about to actually, they say they're not forcing the waters, but then turn around and force the water. They say it's not a requirement, but now you're seeing San Francisco, all right, San Francisco, New York, all right. Pretty much you see it in the major cities. It's going to be a trickle down effect to where this is what's going to be required. All right, to basically have what you would call civilized life. All right, civilized life. All right, and pretty much they're using people as what you would say guinea pigs. All right, for the waters. All right, so. Like the scriptures say, he who shall save his life shall lose it. All right, and he who shall lose his life shall find it. All right, look, man. So what? The Lord said we're gonna eat, man. All right, the scriptures say, make not haste in the time of trouble. Okay, so just because things may be not looking good for that moment, all right, don't mean that you should make hasty decisions and get watered up, because at that moment your finances may be looking a little shoddy, all right, maybe looking a little janky at the moment. You know, you may not have a well set bank account for that moment, all right, or your family needs this. Your family, hey, look, we're a whole community, man. All right, not only that, we got Yahweh Shema Shai. Alright, we gotta cast our cares upon him, man. Alright, what the scripture say? The ravens cry out unto the Lord, and he feed them, the fowls of the air. He says, what? They neither gather into barns, alright, or they don't do things like that. You know, they don't gather into barns, they don't sow seed, they don't do none of that. And Yahweh Shema Shai feeds them. And what the scriptures say about that, or how much greater than those we are. You know? So it was just bugged out, because in the dream, I mean, it was a bunch of brothers, quite a few brothers that was in this line to get watered. And I pretty much cussed them out because of their lack of faith. Alright? Because that really pretty much is a lack of faith. Alright, if you go and get water, that's pretty much a lack of faith. You don't have any faith. Alright? You don't have any faith. You know? You gotta believe that Yahweh Shema Shai is, man. And that he with you. You know? So I just wanted to hit that real quick. I'm at work right now, so I can't do what I want to do. Alright, so with that, you know, I just want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Shema Shai, Basham Kafadash. Devil answer the apostle, elders, great millstone. Salutations, you brothers, pushing this word with truth, say it with charity. Yeah, and another thing, hey, it's about to get real out here. Alright, because the other day I passed out over, I would say over 170, close to 200 5-day notices at my job. Alright, so that should tell you something. I mean, it was a stack almost an inch and a half thick of papers. All right, that I had to pass out eviction notice. All right, so when you got people that don't have money and they need jobs and they going back to work, what you think they're gonna do? They're gonna take the water, all right, because they don't want to find another job, all right, or they're gonna take the MOTB, all right,
or both.
So with that, I just want to say show.
They're gonna take both. And this going on, as you know, though, that, hey, never let a good crisis go to waste, right? And they haven't. This thing's been going on for, you know, we're definitely way over a year into this, right? So this being a year and a half in, Chinese virus can spread among the vaccinated people, the vaccinated. So officials urge cautious Labor Day, you know. Yeah, I'm surprised they ain't using the word social distancing, right? But a lot of people ain't falling for that horse shit anymore, right? You know, there's a lot of people that aren't falling for this horse shit, you know? And they don't like to eat horse shit. It's shit, man. It tastes bad. Delta variant has dramatically changed what we once thought was true about the Chinese virus. While Vanessa people continue to enjoy much greater protection from, yeah, right. Yeah, see, this is all disinformation here. But, you know, the censors say that, it comes against their narrative that it's so-called misinformation, right? One thing is for sure, Vanessa people can get infected, and they can transmit to other Vanessa people. Los Angeles County Public Health Director said Thursday, the transmission has happened, you know, but they want to blame it on the unvaxxed when we know the variants are caused by those that are vaxxed. New York parent calls police after child pulled from class for not wearing retard mask. You know, so here we go. Let's see if I can get this to come up.
A parent in New York called the police after their child was pulled from class for not wearing a mask. Suffolk County police official told The Hill that officers responded to an incident at Islip Middle School at 9:50 a.m. on Thursday. A parent of a student wanted documentation that their child, along with 5 others, were moved to the auditorium with a security guard for not wearing masks. The department told the New York Post that officers, quote, took a report, but that the incident wasn't, quote, a police issue.
You got a lot of angry parents out there that want to unmask their children. They don't want their kids to have to wear the retard mask. Because it does make them look like a retard. Not to mention you can't breathe in the fucking thing anyways. Oregon police and firefighters sued governor over the mandate. A coalition of Oregon police officers and firefighters have sued Fuck Brown over the C-19 mandate for state employees. Yeah, people ain't falling for this shit anymore, man. They're fucking mad as hell. So things are gonna get a lot more, you know, it's gonna get a lot more interesting. The plaintiffs, including the Oregon Fraternal Order of Police and Kingsbury Firefighters Association, argued in a lawsuit filed Friday in Jefferson County Court that Brown's executive order violates a number of laws and want it blocked. You know, so there's going to be a lot more pushback. You can best believe that. Homeland Security agents intercept counterfeit C-19 Vanessa cards headed to Idaho. You're going to see a lot more bullshit news like this too. Because again, they want to make sure that they can make a digital identification. It's coming. Federal officials want to remind people that making fake C-19 cards is a crime. Yeah, it's a crime. Well, it's not really happening. I know what bullshit news is, but they're going to keep printing articles like that. India approves world's first DNA-based Vanessa, shortly after Taiwan announced that it had successfully produced its own crap as it seeks to booster its domestic CV response. India has followed up on its promise to create homespun DNA jab. So there you go. Homespun. 3 new cases of the Mu mutant found in Hong Kong. Authorities fear is Vanessa resistant? Oh, so there's really no need to get Vanessa because it doesn't work. How much longer will fucking flip-flop again? The time charging the stance on the Mu variant. A few days ago, Dr. Fucky told a crowd of assembled reporters at the White House that Mu didn't pose an immediate threat to Babylon. Though he added that he and his team would keep a close eye on it. Right. Want to catch a guy that's really full of shit? Just listen to Fucky, the child molester who made AIDS a worldwide possibility. Israeli state's Cesar tells citizens to prepare for eventual forced shot. You know, they want to make sure that they put it in you. After we've been detailing of late gold plus and ultra Vanessa, Israeli state keeps perpetually moving after health authorities' recent initiative to demand all citizens to get a 3rd shot. They just keep on getting it for life. You know, these fucking pieces of shit, these fake goddamn fucking gutter rat motherfuckers, you know. And I hate these fucking Amalekites. They're Khazar. Yeah, they are Khazars. Professor Salman Zakha made the statements to Khan, national broadcaster. They don't even fucking talk right because, again, well, here's this Amalekite, right?
נקודה חשובה מאוד שהציבור חייב להפנים, ואני חושב שהרוב לא מבינים עדיין. הציבור הפגיע ביותר באופן פרדוקסלי כרגע זה אלה שעשו 2 חיסונים ועוד לא את השלישי. למה? כי הם מסתובבים בתחושה כאילו הם מוגנים כי הם עשו את 2 החיסונים. הם לא מבינים שהחיסון השני דעך אל מול הדלתא וחייבים מהר להתחסן בחיסון השלישי.
Fucking piece of shit. Reports of rare body implementation after Vanessa being investigated by EU watchdog. The European Union's drug regulator said it is reviewing the risk of body inflammation condition in connection to the Pfizer. So there you have it, man. But hey, it's FDA approved now, right? Hurricane Ida toll rises with more nursing home deaths in Louisiana, and you already know that's all weather modification, as you saw in the previous video. Hurricane Ida's death toll rose on Saturday nearly a week after making landfall in Louisiana, with 2 more evacuated nursing home residents among the confirmed dead, authorities said. You know, it was to cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. And hey, they're hauled off to FEMA camps, so that way they can make sure that they receive their shot before they can get any care. It's all part of relocation. So we know we're in this time, and this backs up 2 Ezra chapter 15. But this is the words of Yahweh Shai. You see how the Apocrypha really does back everything. Matthew chapter 24, verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not from the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor shall ever be. This is going to be really bad, you know. We ain't seen nothing yet. We're just seeing the beginning of it. And except those days should be shortened. Yeah, you see, how this depopulation plan is coming in. There should be no flesh saved. Yeah, because like the brother's dream had, he's seen a lot of people that he saw in camps that knew him. He saw them lining up to get it. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here he is Hamashiach, or there, believe it not. You know, those that claim to have the truth, and they don't. There's no truth in them. But there shall arise many false, apostles, false prophets, because we know what Christ means, and it just is another term for Hamashiach, which really means just false epistles, and false prophets, and shall great signs and wonders, and so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Esau's got his media, but you've got a lot of people in the 2/3 that who run them bootleg camps that can be very convincing, you know, because they at least tell you some truth, but then they turn the truth into a lie. You know, like they'll tell you, sure, you know, he was a Negro, but they still teach the name Jesus Christ, which is not his name. They tell you that they don't know the name, even though Nate used to call him Yahweh Shai, but see, he's sold out. He's just like Judas Iscariot, you know, which Judas Iscariot is a lot like Esau, didn't he? You know, for 15 pieces or 30 pieces of silver, you know, he sold out Yahweh Shai, just like Nate sold out Yahweh Shai. He sold these people out. Same thing with General Yohanan. They sold you out. Then 30 pieces of silver. And you want to listen to these fucking devils? You're fucking nuts, man, because you're listening to a lot of Edomites saying, don't fucking take it. How many times has Richard from Boston done a video? That's why you don't see him on YouTube anymore. Behold, I told you this before. Wherefore, if they say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. You know? Because again, you know, things come in fast like lightning. For as lightning come out of the east and shineth even unto the west, so shall also be the coming of Son of Man. You know? So that's what it's going to be. When he does arrive, you're going to know it. You know, to anybody else that's saying that otherwise, believe them not, man. We know that we're going to be scarcely saved, and we know nuclear destruction is going to come, but before all that, things are going to get a lot worse. Things are about to turn up. It's going to get a lot worse. For that, I want to say, Bracha the Yahweh, Bracha the Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash, Wa Abab Babal. And Bracha Tom Jehovah Elect. Shalom.